Alright, I'm in the X5 right now. We're getting ready to do the first start. This is the first time this has started in over a month with all the stuff I've done to it. I'm expecting it to run kind of badly initially because I did disconnect the disconnect the fuel lines and the intake manifold, but you know, let's see. It's gonna probably make a really nasty racket for the first couple of seconds and hopefully nothing explodes, but fingers crossed. Let's let the fuel pump prime a couple times. Let's turn the radio off. I set the climate control to heat so I could bleed the cooling system. And let's prime it again. There's not much gas in there. Hopefully we have enough to start with, but fingers crossed. Okay. I saw the oil pressure light come on there, so I'm going to double check the oil level. Okay, starting the X5, round 2. I added a bit of oil, checked that everything was okay. I think I just gotta let it run, let everything circulate. Let's give it a couple seconds. Alright, let's give it a start. Okay, it's running a little rough. I lost your fluid well, that's normal. It's running a little rough, shaking a bit. It's not doing great, but it's running. Smoothing out a little bit. No smoke or anything outside, so it's running. No check engine lights yet, so that's a good sign, right? Alright, seems like it's calming down a little bit. Okay, there we go. That's starting to sound a little more like a happy engine. The lifters are still a little sticky, so you can hear a bit of ticking. But let's check under the hood. Bit of ticking, but nothing crazy. It's running pretty smoothly at this point. Idling steady. I don't see any smoke. That's a good sign. So far, so good. Okay, looking good, sounding good, sweet. Okay, so far so good. The ABS and traction lights are just because I've been messing around with the car. It should go away as soon as I start driving it. Anyways, I'm gonna turn this off before I die of carbon monoxide poisoning. So I'll give you an update in a few minutes when I finish bleeding the coolant and take it on a bit of a drive. I gotta go to the gas station. Alright, first start was a success, I'd say. A little rough initially, but that's to be expected when I remove the intake manifold. It messes up all the fuel trims, but it's it started running pretty steady after a little while, so that's good. I'm gonna double check the coolant level and the oil level and make sure everything's all where it should be. Washer fluid is still low because I didn't hook up the reservoir. I'm just gonna leave that alone for now. But yeah, catch up in a bit. Okay, so this is the very first test drive I'm taking of this X5. Okay, I'm backing out of my garage. Let's unfold the mirrors. Okay, so I can see now. Alright, I'm in gear. Forward movement. So far, so good. The brakes are still a little touchy, probably because it's been, you know, a little bit since they've been driven. So let's turn the AC on, set this to auto, see what happens. Random vibrations in the steering wheel. Maybe needs some motor mounts or something. I'll have to look into that, or maybe the power steering pump's on its way out. But so far, so good. Yeah. Huh. Guess there's a lot of steam coming from me. Smoke, maybe? Yeah. Might just be crap from all the time it hasn't run. That's a lot, but we'll see. Taking it real easy. Stuff banging around in the trunk, but it's nothing crazy. Still smell a little bit of oil, so I smelled it while I was idling, so that's interesting. A lot of times the oil smells are just from it, you know, getting on things and burning off. So I usually don't pay too much attention to that, especially when it's a freshly rebuilt engine like this. But so far, so good, I'd say. The temperature is dead center right now, 76 Celsius. But we'll see how that holds up. I'll let it cool off at the gas station a bit too. I mean, normally I'd bleed this fully before driving it, but this has barely any gas in it, so it really needed to be bled. Or this barely has any gas in it, so it really needs to have gas put into it. Otherwise, it's gonna have problems. Like, you know, not driving. So the closest gas station to me, unfortunately, is Chevron, which is pricey, but started this relationship off on a good foot, right? Check coolant level. Okay, that's normal-ish. Once we put range 31 miles, typical. Alright, so we're right on the time, and then I'm gonna turn this thing off. Well, let it sit for a bit while I put some gas in it. and I'm gonna switch to the other camera now. So I'll follow up with you guys in a sec. Washer fluid low. Okay, that's fine. Cool, she's finally out of the garage. The lighting here is a lot better than my garage too, so you can kind of see. A little dirty, but not bad at all. I'm gonna put some gas in and I'm gonna pop the hood in a sec, see if anything's wrong. But so far it's a vehicle. So yeah, let's double check and see if anything's leaking under it. That'd be funny. Well, terrifying, but you know what I mean. I don't see anything obviously leaking, so that's a good sign, right? Let's pop the hood. One-handed. Woo! One-handed, He-Man style. Alright, let me get some extra lighting, aka my phone flash. Let's double check everything. This was dripping a little bit before. Okay, that's just some coolant burning off from that had leaked out before when I first started it. So no worries there. I mean, all the other hoses appear to be, you know, intact and functioning. I don't see any obvious like oil shooting out anywhere. Yeah, everything looks as it should to me. Focus there. Yeah, so this is good. I don't see anything obvious. I mean, if I had messed something up royally, I would have noticed it immediately. So let's put some gas in this girl. Let's see what that premium's going for. Oh, 213. Oh, regular. Wow, Chevron reverses it to make me feel like a dick. It's actually 263. Joy. Alright, so let's fill her up fully, and I'll follow up with you in a sec on that. Man, look at that total. $60.06 to put 22.7 gallons into this. That means it was pretty much empty. The gas tank here, I think, is only 23 gallons, so it was definitely cutting it close, but yeah, it's a bit of a pricey gas up, but then again, Chevron tends to be pricey. This would be like 55 at Arco or something, but oh well. Yep, she's looking good. So I guess I'll drive it home and see what happens. Alright, time to head home. Let's start her up and see what happens. Okay, she starts right up, no problems there. Check coolant level, it's kind of obvious. Washer fluid low, okay. Degrees for the coolant, so let's get her home. speed limit already, so I should probably slow down a little, but yeah, this thing moves. This is nice.
It's kind of like my it drives a little bit like my Range Rover. If my Range Rover dropped like, 700 pounds and gained like 40 horsepower, which is basically what this is. But ride's a little rougher than the Range Rover, but that's to be expected. This is very much sport tuned. I wouldn't necessarily call this a jarring ride, though. It seems like a lot of reviewers back when this came out, they called it a really harsh, jarring ride. And even with 213,000 miles on this, I'd hardly consider this harsh. But I mean, I guess you gotta look at what I'm coming from. Well, definitely gotta check the tire pressures there. Tires feel kind of soft, but yeah, I mean, reviewers were calling this like super rough, but I mean, my wagon is so much rougher than this because that suspension's just totally destroyed. But anyways, so I'm kind of pulling back into my neighborhood here and just stop the camera here.